DTLR Radio, your fashion, your lifestyle, your music, man. Again, you're locked in with me, Colin Mike, right here on the Hype Man Show. And I told y'all it's a Weekend Crew check-in now. I have a special guest here with me today. I think it's first time here at DTLR on this tour, ended in his hometown. We got my guy Pedro in here. What's good, Brody?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Hey, bro, I'm feeling great, man. It's a wonderful Saturday. You know, the vibes are good. So as long as the energy is great, you know, during the Hype Man Show, I'm happy.
Great.
So I want to talk to you, man. So first of all, how you feeling today, man? Welcome to DTLR.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel a little bit tired, exhausted. We started the tour on Wednesday in LA.
Yes.
And we just did NY yesterday, and we're concluding on Sunday, tomorrow.
Yes, Songbird.
Yeah, Songbird with a powerhouse lineup. So I'm trying to maintain the strength right now.
Yeah, so what's going to help you get that strength up? We got to get the energy up, man. I know you've been grinding, bro. Listen, I understand.
Yeah. I think in terms of just like energy, it's just like I'm just trying to make sure that I get the job completed.
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm work focused. So I'm so driven to get that.
No, facts. So you say you were just in New York. We started out in Los Angeles. Is that where you based out right now?
Yeah.
So talk to us. How the tour days been from Los Angeles, New York? Like, how's it been different? What the vibes been?
It's LA was great. NY was great. I think in terms of just like, you know, when you fund something yourself, you know, it's
talk
just
about it. And the independent artist right here, y'all. So all my artists who are listening right now, this is a walking testimony how he'll get you the real deal how it's like to be independent artists out here.
It's a lot. I'll tell you that. I know one thing I wanna really give people some shout outs like Lena, Lena Levon.
Shout out Lena.
My DJ Paul, and Sean, who's also helping me on the tour. I think having a strong community and a backbone to just kind of keep you pushing forward is super important. No,
facts. So, you know, you said having like the backbone out here, like, you know, women and stuff like that. And I know the
show, man.
Yeah, the show must go on. But before we get to that, I want to still tap into like you talking about independent artists. Now, you said again, you are funding the show yourself. Yeah. Now, you know, what have been like the pros and like cons or things you have learned? I want to say cons. What are some things you've learned, you know, with funding a show, like, you know, as an independent artist, like that artists kind of don't, because people don't see this. Yeah. They see you get on stage, they see you do your thing, but talk about it. How is it funding your own tour? Like, what goes on into that?
I mean, I think I'll say this, and I'll be very truthful. In terms
it's a Hype Man Show. Keep it hype, but keep it real, okay?
I'll tell. In terms of just like not necessarily the cons, but the things that you learn is that sometimes you can't please everybody when you're funding this, and I'm just super happy that. And I'm super appreciative that I have people who kind of understand the vision and the goal. I think in terms of the pros is just to be able to execute a plan that you have in your head, and it comes to fruition. Like LA show is really dope. The fact that we're able to, I have a band called The Genre That Never Was, and we rehearsed so much, and the fact that we had that chance to have our plan executed in terms of the show, having the storyline play out was really dope.
No, that's great, man. But listen, the show must go on, and you definitely put on the show. Now, I got to see you firsthand while I was in LA. Lena had her open mic, and you performed, and you were with the band. And I like how you really connected with the crowd, how you really tapped in with the instruments. You know, sometimes it's like it's the artist, and then it's like the band. Sometimes they put them as the background, but you are literally like a brotherhood.
Oh yeah. I'm very inclusive.
Yeah.
I moved to LA by myself, so I experienced a lot where just like I had to do a lot by myself, and I don't like to do that with anyone. And I come from a background where my mom was she was also very inclusive. She used to help her siblings out or her cousins or whatever, let them stay over, loan them some money, stuff like that. So for me, in terms of how I treat people how I want to treat myself. So
no, facts.
I'm never, for the band specifically, I'm never looking at it as me being a front man. I look at it as, you know, a collective.
And I think that's what keeps it going. Like, the team is all well-rounded. Everybody is equally feeling each other. It's transferable energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you thinking, ain't nobody coming to see you owe this. Like, you think you owe this. You think you the man, right? It's like, all right, man, now. It takes a village. But you speak about your mom, and I know your mom and your sister are really key figures that helped you really get on this tour. And, you know, with Pomegranate, it's like you understanding woman's worth. You know, talk about just their importance and how they have motivated you into like, you know, the tour and this, you know, this album as well, because like we love to see a black man understanding a black woman's worth, because sometimes, you know, the most overshadowed, the most underestimated person is a black woman sometimes.
Yeah, no, facts.
And so let's talk about that.
I'll say this. So I was creating this album, I was going through a lot of relationship problems, and my DJ knows, he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
He over here nodding his head, give y'all visual. He like, yes,
he knows
sir.
what I'm talking about. So I think the people who were the most just helpful were black women.
Yeah.
So whether, like I said, we mentioned Lena, we mentioned my mom, my mom and my sister, like they did stuff that I will never even speak and put to public.
Yeah.
But they did stuff for me that being appreciative and saying thank you is just not even enough.
Yeah.
And just having that happen while creating an album, trying to channel the rage that you have inside in you, and you flip it into something that's kind of like positive. I thank them a lot for that.
No, facts. And like you said, you know, sometimes like, you know, we're not a king without a queen, and you know we're surrounded by several queens. But I want to tap into the album Pomegranate. You know, like, I was saying like, okay, I see the album cover is you know, talk about that, you know, because artists, I feel like we see the simple thing, but it's like it has so much of a meaning to it. I'm thinking like, you know, pomegranate's a berry, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I don't know, it's like, I don't know, you know, it's
like, I like that. That's actually a good flip.
Okay, you know, I'm like, you know, I was like, okay, pomegranate is a berry, black woman, you know. Come on, see.
I wish I came up with that. That would have been a dope.
It's all right. See, that's what happened.
I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it.
Well, you heard it here first, but you know, we're all about collaborating, so I love it.
Exactly. But the cover itself, is based off of a surrealist artist. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now.
It's all right. Shout out to him. You know the love.
Yeah, old surrealist artist. And it's basically the same thing. He has this artwork, painting actually, that it's read in French in caption. It says this isn't an apple, but it's an painting of an apple, just to reflect that. And that's what I kind of like base that album cover off of.
Yeah.
Because the full title of the album is this a pomegranate in question mark? Because the album cover is actually AI.
Okay.
So it's just like we're in this space now where just a lot of things seem, the lines are being blurred between what's real and what's not real. Yeah. And in my life, I just, going through what I was going through, I couldn't tell who was being real with me and who was being not real, who was being fake, who was lying to me. And stuff like that. You
know, and who I'm guessing your mom and your sister were they great people like this to be there as a support system when you're going through that balance of this who to trust?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, because I'm like relationships. You know, like you know, sure. You know, learn about the woman, things like that. Like if you're in relationships, you learn because I'm guessing you're single right now, correct? Yeah. You know, so like so you know, relationships. You know, talk about that. How did that pour into the album too? Because you know, I got to listen to a few songs. Now we're gonna talk about New Edition in a minute, but talk to us about this, like the relationships you had, or this, you know, not even just like a romantic, this like friendship relationship that poured into this album.
Yeah, I think what I have, my problem in relationships and friendships, rapport, however we want to dress it up as, I think I'm very reserved. So that's why we go back to the praise of black women. Yeah, I think they're the ones who have been, despite how reserved I would be, they would always reach out. And sometimes that's like a reflection of, oh, you know what, you got to kind of like wake up. So in terms of just like relationship, I think it's just super important to have people who not only just who are there for you, but people who just motivate you to, you know, get up out that slump that you're in. But at the end of the day, despite the relationships, you know, it's down to yourself to kind of like pull yourself out of that darkness. And that's kind of like what the album is just having to pull yourself out of that space that you're in. Yeah,
and you know, you talking about space and growing as an individual. You know, this is your sophomore album, correct?
Correct.
So talk about the difference between your first album to this one. What do you think how have you grown? Like, what will be the difference?
The music, for sure. I have this EP called Tatooine, and I branded that as like progressive soul as a genre. So I kind of built off of that, built that idea off of that for Pomegranate. My first album was it was more so like, you know, getting my feet wet and chasing features, making singles, but not necessarily having the idea to grow musically.
Yeah, so now having that leisure, like you said, music is your artwork, you know what I'm saying? You progress, you grow with it, and I think the beautiful thing about artistry is seeing how you evolve. You know what I'm saying?
I always want to evolve.
Yeah, so speaking about evolving, like, influence, is there any artist or anybody that, that inspires you in your work? And, I like how you use progressive soul. Well, before we get to that, explain to, like, our artists, like, what is progressive soul for those who don't know?
Progressive soul, there's an actual thing called progressive rock where it was just like, it was an alternative form of rock. Mixed with, like, soul and all that. And I think I kind of credit Janelle Monáe.
Oh, yes.
With that.
Oh, yeah. She's in her own lane. Yeah. Now, I think in New York, I saw you wore like the suit and tie and stuff like that. So I can see the reference to Janelle Monáe.
All that comes from her. Yeah. Like, I say this. Her first album is the greatest album of the 21st century.
Okay, talk on now.
Anybody can fight me on that. Like,
come on, y'all hear that now.
That's the greatest album of the 21st century. But for progressive soul, for me, is just like being able to build. Yeah. Just being able to be forward thinking with the music, and that's what I'm always trying to do. Is like there's a lot of music that we consume nowadays, and it's hard for listeners to kind of like stick with a certain style of music.
Facts.
Because just
TikTok. Let's talk about it.
It's so much. It's literally so much. So I'm always just trying to be forward. I'm just trying to be forward, get ahead of the curve. Because I just want my music to stand out. Yeah,
well, you say stand out. That's a great word right there. I want to ask you, how do you think you stand out?
How do I think I stand out? That's a great question. My man Sean we were literally talking about this. I don't necessarily play the game.
Okay.
I can play the game, but I don't necessarily play the game.
Okay, I like that.
Industry, and
it could be fake, and you're not with the fakeness, because like you said, for you growing through all the trials and tribulations of people being fake to you, you're like, I'm done with that. Yeah. If it's gonna be real, it's gonna be authentic. Let it be authentic.
Yeah.
Let's progressive soul, right?
I'm the type of person like, yo, if we can't build, if we can't grow, if we can't make great music, if we can't even communicate. I've been in a relationship where communication was detrimental. So it's just like, if you can't do that, like, I'm cool off that. So that's how I kind of treat the industry itself. It's like, if you don't see me as value in music, then I'm just no worth to you.
Yes, I mean, value of music, growing, and valuable music helps with that too. 'Cause I think music is therapy. And speaking about valuable music and music that is timeless, that goes on forever. Your song New Edition. I think of the group New Edition. Your mom loves New Edition.
Mom loves New Edition.
So it's like your mom definitely has been. I can see how the black woman's been the influence.
Cool It Now is
it now. You gotta slow it now.
Back to back, we used to dress up and everything.
Come on, Mr. Telephone
Man, actually, yeah. I didn't get to say this in the last interview that I had, but So Mr. Telephone Man was actually what inspired that song. My producer, the 22 Fall, we were listening to that, and
the song New Edition.
Yeah, we were listening to New Edition. A couple people, Elder Barge, and Mr. Telephone Man. When you hear me like talking at the break or the bridge in the song, that's literally inspired by that. It comes from that song.
I see now. We get it, but now let's talk about New Edition. We're about to go ahead and play it live for our listeners right now. Talk to us about the song, like what it's about. Now, I'll give it too much, but I know it's about how you like, how you like a certain woman, how you like a certain type. Talk about it.
When you find that New Edition, the new quality,
ooh,
the upgrade.
Ooh, come on now.
So that's literally what it's about. Yeah, it's actually, matter of fact, it's the last song that we created, and I was so pissed that we got that song last, because if I had that song first, rolling out the album would have been a breeze.
Yeah.
It would have been a breeze.
If people don't know, like, all getting things like
it's a lot.
Yeah,
in terms of just like the promotion, rolling out an album, picking the singles, like, it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Well, listen, your hard work is paid off, and that's what we're going to play it right now, a DTLR, and all our 400-plus stores right now. So plug in yourself. Let them know where they can follow you at. Let them know the tour tomorrow. Plug everything in. Also, let us know what song we're about to hear.
You are about to listen to New Edition by Akinola Pedro. That is myself.
Hey.
It's off my sophomore album, POMEGRANATE. It's available everywhere. You can find me at A King Called Pedro everywhere. That's AKINGKALLDPE. Pedro.
Hey, and just like that, we're about to go ahead and get into this new edition right here on the Hype Man Show on DTLR Radio. Let's go!